Thank you. It is my great pleasure to present the Gies Award for Outstanding Achievement by a public or private partner to former Surgeon General of the United States, Dr. David Satcher. Dr. Satcher is now Director of the National Center for Primary Care at the Morehouse School of Medicine. In the year 2000, Dr. Satcher released Oral Health in America, a report of the Surgeon General. In addition to a lack of awareness of the importance of oral health among the public, the report found a significant disparity between racial and socioeconomic groups in regard to oral health and ensuing overall health issues. Based upon these findings, the Surgeon General called for action to promote access to oral health care for all Americans. Dr. Satcher has become the beacon for the public and the profession to rally around to eliminate what he called the silent epidemic of oral disease. Dr. Satcher is the professional embodiment of the idea that oral care is an important part of primary care, as you'll see from this brief video.
Dr. David Satcher served as the 16th Surgeon General of the United States from February 1998 to February 2002. It was under his devotion to oral health that the first ever report on oral health was issued in May 2000. The report, Oral Health in America, a report of the Surgeon General, alerted Americans to the importance of oral health in their daily lives. This landmark report provided state-of-the-science evidence on the growth and development of oral, dental, and craniofacial tissues and organs, the diseases and conditions affecting them, and the relationship between oral health and systemic health, including recent reports of associations between chronic oral infections and diabetes, osteoporosis, heart and lung conditions, and certain adverse pregnancy outcomes. The report further detailed how oral health is promoted, how oral diseases and conditions are prevented and managed, and what needs and opportunities exist to enhance oral health. Dr. Satcher has continued the promotion of oral health through his numerous lectures, publications, public appearances, and mentorship of his colleagues throughout the health professions. His untiring efforts to inform the public, the legislature, and the health professionals related to health disparities and lack of access to care for disenfranchised Americans is nothing less than remarkable. His latest book, Multicultural Medicine and Health Disparities, is a groundbreaking resource for students and practitioners to improve their ability to care for an increasingly diverse U.S. population.
We found that people who are poor, low-income people, minority populations, people who are disabled and homebound, people who are institutionalized, tend to be at greatest risk for oral health problems.
Dr. Satcher is director of the Center of Excellence on Health Disparities at the Morehouse School of Medicine in Atlanta, Georgia. Dr. Satcher also served as Assistant Secretary for Health in the Department of Health and Human Services from February of '98 to January 2001, making him only the second person in history to have held both positions simultaneously. He was also director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention from 1993 to 1998 and was the first person to serve as director of the CDC and Surgeon General of the United States. For his outstanding dedication and achievements in promoting quality health standards for all Americans and his endeavor to inform Americans about the importance of oral health, we salute Dr. David Satcher with the Gies Award for Achievement, Public-Private Partner.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the recipient of the Gies Award for Outstanding Achievement by a public or private partner, Dr. David Satcher.
you. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. I'm deeply honored. Thanks, Alan, for that very kind introduction. I want to thank Gene Sinkfoot, who I know had a role in this and certainly made it clear to me that I had to be here and on time. I also want to say how delighted I am that my wife Nola is here with me tonight. I'm one of those people who travels most of the time, and Nola doesn't try to keep up with me in all of those global travels, but I'm delighted that she's here tonight. So will you give her a hand too? I am deeply honored to receive the William J. Gies Award for Outstanding Achievement as a Public-Private Partner. I am deeply indebted to all of those people who worked with me on that first ever Surgeon General's report on oral health. And I could name a lot of people, and I won't try. Of course, you've heard a little bit from Harold Slavkin, who was head of the National Institute of Dental and Craniofacial Research at the time. Caswell Evans, who took an entire year to come to Washington to help work on that report. Deshanka Kleinman, who I believe now is at the University of Maryland School of Public Health, who played such a great role. And my own staff, people like Ken Watsugu, the Deputy Surgeon General, and Nicole Lurie, who worked so hard. This was a very important report, and it was truly a public-private partnership, but it was also a unique partnership between medicine and dentistry, especially pediatrics. The pediatricians were very excited about the opportunity to work with their colleagues in oral health to really look at the face of a child, which is what we called at first conference, and what we could contribute to improving that face and that function. So I'm indebted to all of those who worked with me to provide this opportunity to make this contribution. I was told that I had 60 seconds, so let me end with one of my favorite poems. It's called God's Minute. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, yet it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, and yet eternity is in it. Thank you.